About 22% of the population in the United States are kids between 0 and 18 years old. That's only 22% of our population, but they are 100% of our future. And we need to be doing a better job educating them when it comes to financial literacy and financial wellness. Kids are going to make financial decisions their entire life. And I know as a parent myself, I worry all the time if I am equipping my kids with the knowledge and skills necessary to make good financial decisions that will impact them for their entire lives. We know that financial literacy is rarely or poorly taught in school. Building this money education early on, it's going to build confidence. It's going to help them make better decisions. How do we do this? What should we even be teaching these kids, and at what age should we start? It starts early. One of the biggest benefits my parents did for me was involve me in decisions in their financial process. Not just at home, but even, I remember when my grandfather passed away, my dad involved me in the process of cleaning up his estate and even so much as planning his funeral, so that I could see and witness what went into these decisions so that I was equipped to make them when I needed to. Budgeting is where we see a lot of financial errors start and where we could see these things headed off from the beginning. Having a disciplined budget, making sure kids understand how to do that. And that's just teaching them words and categories of what money should be spent, what money should be saved. What are things that we have to spend money on, and how do we save for things that we ultimately would want to spend money on, like little luxuries or trips or vacations and things. Something else, something that's important to my family, is a category for sharing. How do we use our wealth to impact the rest of our community, to help impact the world through donations and charity? To us, it's important. It's also a category that you could discuss with your kids. One thing that we see isn't taught well enough is the phrase opportunity cost. Yes, we want to spend money here, but how is that going to impact another financial decision? It is one area that I would encourage parents to focus on heavily is if we buy this, maybe we can't buy that. All of those things are important in understanding how to make sound financial decisions. When it comes to saving, introducing things as simple as a mason jar that you save money in or a piggy bank, and get the discipline and the muscle memory about, I have this extra money, I have this pocket change, let's put it in here so that we can save it for later, is a very important lesson that's easy to teach to a child very early on. An area that I can't encourage you to explain enough is credit and debt. Understanding budgeting is important, understanding saving is important, but where we all are nervous about our kids getting in trouble is not understanding how to use credit cards and how to use debt responsibly. Einstein himself said, compounding interest is the most powerful force in the world. This can also apply to debt. So understanding how to use that compounding interest in our favor rather than against us when it comes to compounding interest on debt is very important for kids to understand so that they're not getting into debt and running that further and further and hindering their financial progress. Understanding how important your credit score and connecting that to things like being able to rent an apartment, being able to buy a car, being able to get a credit card, or even being able to get a cell phone is very important for kids to understand. That connection to our credit score and its impact is important. One thing that often goes under the radar is your credit score can impact what it costs for you to get things like homeowners and auto insurance. So the better your credit score is, the less expensive those things that are a necessity will be, setting you up for a stronger financial foundation. So how do we teach these things at home? First thing you can do is talk about money openly and honestly, helping kids understand things like opportunity costs and family budgeting and the impact that this has on your financial lives. The second thing is to give them some hands-on practice. Start that with an allowance. Giving them a weekly allowance for doing chores around the house is a great way to instill not only strong work ethic, but also, I need to work to earn this money. And when they work to earn that money, they're going to spend it a bit more responsibly. And after they have that allowance and that work ethic, introduce things like savings goals. If there's something that they want, they have to learn to work, to earn, to save it, to purchase it on their own. When it comes time to make those purchases on their own, explaining things like price comparisons and shopping around to get a better deal versus just buying it because you think you have enough saved is an important mechanism to create not only great financial discipline, but also strong consumers. And then the last thing is to understand financial discipline and strong borrowing behaviors. Understanding if I borrow, I have to pay this back, and not only pay that back, but pay it back with some interest. All this is very important to understand and to make sure that these kids understand that this debt isn't just money that you don't have to pay back, but that car comes at a cost, financing that car comes at a cost, and it's not a $50,000 vehicle, it becomes a $55,000 vehicle when you talk about interest. Financial literacy is a gift that we can give our kids throughout their lifetime. It builds these strong financial behaviors and can help them avoid costly errors. But this is a lifelong mission. Families, start small. Do this together. Work with your kids when it comes to making these financial decisions. Involve them in some of the things like vacation planning and budgeting for that, or the process that goes into shopping for a new car and how to approach that borrowing process. You can always reach out to us at Hoffman Wealth Management if you want help educating your kids. We have plenty of resources available that we can provide, plenty of lessons that we can provide, even have them come visit us at the office so we can explain some of these things, especially as things start to get more complicated like investing and financing and borrowing. We can help explain what those look like and what opportunities can lie ahead for these kids.